Well, it looks like we are now officially at 10 o'clock, so we are ready to get started with our breaks for tonight. We have got 3 things on tap this evening. The first is an autographed football jersey. It's a Tristar Game Day Greats jersey. After that, we will open a full case of National Treasures Football, which is always fun. And then we'll open a half case of Gypsy Queen Baseball. It'll be the start of a new case. So that's what we have on tap for tonight. I do always run through some information before we start ripping into things, so let's do that real quickly now. First up, my feedback is 100% automated on eBay, so anytime you leave positive feedback for me, you should instantly get it in return. You never have to wait on me to get caught up. Second part of that, and the most important part, is to say thank you to everyone. I appreciate your bids. I appreciate you breaking with me. Many of you come and hang out with me and keep me company in chat and stop by just to say hi sometimes. So thank you for all of that as well. Next up, we're going to take a look at what's coming up in the 5 days ahead. This is the stuff that is already listed on eBay. I put up new auctions almost every night, and they generally run for 5 days because otherwise eBay charges us a big honkin' extra fee if we run it for less than 5 days. Tomorrow night's a pretty easy night. It's going to be a mini football helmet and a full case of Prism Mosaic basketball. Thursday night, we'll do some 16 black gold, a half case of 2011 Prime Signatures football, and a full case of Tribute baseball. That actually comes out Wednesday. Normally I open it on break night, on release night, but I kind of messed up and didn't get it listed, so we're going to open it a night later on Thursday. Friday night, we're going to open an autographed baseball jersey, a half case of Leaf Trinity baseball. That is the day it comes out, and it looks awesome this year. We will open another full case of National Treasures Football, and we will also open a full case of Chronicles basketball. That's all on Friday. On Saturday, a full-size football helmet, a full-size football. I forgot about that one. It's an actual like NFL football, regulation football autographed. Then a mini helmet, then some gold signature edition baseball, and Gypsy Queen baseball, the back half of the case that we start tonight. We'll finish up on Saturday night. Then Sunday, we'll open a multi-sport jersey, 2017 Historic Autographs Ink Threads. We'll do some Leaf Icons cut signature multi-sport. There'll be 3 boxes in that break. The back half of Trinity baseball that we start on Friday night, a Hit Parade Chicago Show exclusive basketball, and another quarter case of Donruss basketball. So that's the 5 days ahead. Tonight, once again, this is the order we're breaking in. Jersey, National Treasures, Gypsy Queen. If you are in these breaks, please take a moment to look at the information there on the screen. As you can see, we have 1 free shipping break tonight. That's the jersey. Free shipping stuff goes out roughly 5 to 6 days after the auction ends. So anticipating that will ship on Monday. That's always plus or minus a day. Our paid breaks tonight, NT Football and Gypsy Queen Baseball. Anticipating those will go out on Friday. Again, plus or minus a day, meaning it could go Thursday, it could go Saturday, but I think it will go Friday. And finally, take a look there at the info. If your team is not pulled, you don't hit anything at all in a break, you're still entitled to a consolation card for your team. That is typically sent with your next package, but can be sent sooner upon request. There's more information about that in the listing description as well. So, 1 box of 2017 Tristar Game Day Greats autographed football jersey. This is break number 15. And, of course, it ended tonight, March the 27th on eBay. We're live streaming it tonight, March the 27th. We have our team names on the left and winning bidders across from it on the right-hand side. And I see that X Wheels X is in here a lot tonight. So he's definitely playing the odds, hedging his bets with a lot of teams in here. Sometimes that works. Sometimes you manage to hit the home run that way. Next up, you're going to see that the focus here is changing. Please don't worry, that is by design. I do not use the autofocus feature. I always manually set it. Sometimes I have to tweak it, but most of the time we're not in too bad a shape, and it'll roll right on like it is. I see Bobby is in chat saying good luck to everyone. Good luck to you too, Bobby. This is, oh, cool. This is a nice one. And one you don't pull very often. It is Randall Cunningham. How about that? For the Eagles. Yeah. Don't pull too much Randall Cunningham stuff. I'm not going to take it out of the bag right now because it's like a map. Once you get this stuff out, it's nearly impossible to get it back in. But there is the autograph. There's a JSA authentication in there. It has a matching sticker that goes with the card. I will put this card down inside the bag as well before I ship it. And there you go. So the Eagles with the nice little Randall Cunningham autographed jersey. That's one of the reasons I like Game Day Greats. You pull some stuff out of there that you don't pull out of everything else. And I kind of like that. So I like opening Game Day Greats. I'm about out of them, though. I'm going to have to try to find some more, I think. It's harder to find them. That, you know, they sell out really quickly after they come out. And I bought 2 or 3 cases of them, and now I'm about out, and I've got to find some more. So next up is going to be the full case of National Treasures Football. So if you are in this break, please take a moment to look at the info on the screen about what happens if your team is not pulled in the break, and also your anticipated shipping date. 4 boxes of 2017 National Treasures Football. This is a full case break. It's break number 3. Like our other item, it ended tonight on eBay, the 27th of March. And we're breaking it tonight as well. And oh, I just remembered. Somebody asked me after the last break about shipping them one of the boxes, and I forgot to send him the information about how much the postage and everything was on that. I got to remember to do that after this break. All right, so after tonight, there are 2 cases of National Treasures left. One of them is already scheduled. We'll break it Friday night. The other one, I'm not sure when we'll break it. Probably about this time next week. That's what I'm thinking. So tonight, then we'll do Friday night, and then probably roughly next Tuesday to finish up NT. Hi, Mark and Brad. I see you all in chat now. By the way, guys, if you're watching live and you can't see chat, 2 things. 1, you have to be logged into YouTube to see it. And 2, if you are watching on a mobile device like your phone or a tablet, you need to click on that little link that says you want to see the desktop version. And once you do those 2 things, you should be able to see it. I see Jeff just asked who the jersey was, and Bobby did me a solid and already answered it. So thank you, Bobby, for that. Yeah, it was nice old school Eagles with the Randall Cunningham. Of course, as you know, I'm a fan of pulling a lot of the Hall of Famers in addition to our rookies and some of the current players. I also always enjoy pulling some good Hall of Famers. Tell you what, getting in these boxes is like Fort Knox by the time you get everything cut and in and out, and then there's still more seals on those little boxes. They don't mess around with them. It's like there's no tampering with National Treasures, which is a good thing, of course. We wouldn't want them to be tampered with. Oh, Bobby says, I'm an Eagles fan from Philly, but slacked off and didn't buy the Eagles in the jersey break tonight. I'm sorry, Bobby. That's a drag. Oh, look at that. That one, look how much fatter, how much taller this box is than all the others. You know what that means? Probably there's a booklet in there, wouldn't you think? I would think so. Because otherwise, why would this box be so tall and all of our other boxes, you know, the lid's on them properly? So I'm thinking if we can, good grief, I can't even get the seal cut. It's just, it's like, it's on, oh, dang it. It's on there weird because of it being much taller than normal. Let me make sure that I'm, okay. I had to make sure I wasn't going to bleed on anything. I got my hand a little bit there. I want to bleed on your card. Fortunately for me, I'm smarter than to have a super sharp blade here, because I know how I am, and I would end up just, you know, cutting a finger off or something. Oh, Bobby, you have the Eagles in NT. All right, then. Then you're in good shape. Brad says that there's going to be a team booklet in there because that box is as big as it is. I think there's definitely going to be a booklet in there. I mean, I could tell by the way the box was put together, so it's just going to be a question of who's on the booklet. Or in it, on it. I don't know what the proper way to say that is, but anyway, it's going to be fun. So you know that means I'm going to save that stack for last, right? Because we want to have the best for last, kind of. Yeah, that's the way that's going to roll. Let me get some sleeves out here on the table, and then we're going to start taking a look at what we have. So first up is a J.J. Watt base card for the Texans. That is numbered to what? 49, I think that says on there. Next up, I've got to get my hair out of my face, sorry, is Michael Thomas to 75 for the Saints. Yeah, my hair is longer than it should be right now, and it gets down in my face when I do these breaks, so I always have to wear a hat to try to keep my hair out of my face. This is to 99, a little Mike Ditka Century threads there, Century Materials for the Chicago Bears. Demarius Thomas to 25, nice 3-color patch for the Broncos. Then we have Pirine to 99 for the Redskins. I see a materials hit coming up for my Pittsburgh Steelers. We pulled one of these out of the last case, too. Oh, actually, I think we had different players in the last case. This one is Juju Smith-Schuster and James Conner to 99. I think the last case was maybe Josh Dobbs and somebody. Maybe not. Maybe it was the same card. I don't know. But we pulled a Steelers dual material out of the last case anyway. TJ Logan to 99 for the Cardinals. Mark is asking, is it a Red Sox hat? It is not a Red Sox hat. It is actually a hat I got for donating to some charitable event. This is the one I have on my head at the moment. Cooper Kupp rookie signatures to 99 for the Rams. That is a really nice large patch over there on the right, 3-color, and of course a hard signed autograph. So nice little Cooper Kupp hit for the Rams tonight. Oh, Vikings, look at you go. Oh, there is Dalvin Cook to 25 on the insert, the future hard signed, and that is a sweet little hit. That is a very nice hit for the Vikings. I think obviously that kid was on a great track before he got hurt, so assuming he comes back the same or better, that's a nice one to sock away. Texans to 10, and meanwhile you're just going, why? Why did it have to be Foreman? I know, right? But it is. 3-color patch, hard signed auto, numbered to 10. I know you wanted your QB, and I'm sorry that one's not Deshaun Watson, but maybe we're going to find him for you before we get finished tonight. Russell Wilson to 99 for the Seahawks. Von Miller to 7, does that say 75? Yeah, 75 for the Broncos. Sometimes I lose part of the numbers in the design of the card. I have to look at it twice there to see it. Colossal Materials to 99 for the Titans with Derrick Henry. Ooh, I see a multiplayer card coming up. So here's how these work. If it's a ooh, I see, oh boy, we've got a really good one coming behind this one. Okay, so here's what you need to know about these multiplayer cards, because obviously we're going to have a bunch of them tonight. To take it outright, you need to own 51% or more of the card. So on a 3-team card, you need to own 2 of the 3 to take it outright. On here, we have the Chiefs, the Bengals, and the Texans with Mahomes, Mixon, and Foreman. It is numbered to 99. I'm going to set it aside. We'll check the spreadsheet and then go to random with it if we need to after that. This, however, holy smokes. Yeah, how about that? How about that? A 1-of-1 with 4 NFL shields with Deshaun Watson, Leonard Fournette, Corey Davis, and Marlon Mack. Holy Moses. Yeah, nice, right? Oh, Adam's fussing at me for explaining how we do it now instead of later, but that's just how I roll, Adam. To 99, Davis Webb, rookie signatures for the Giants. Once again, a nice size patch and a hard signed auto. Hey, my Steelers with a hit, and one you don't see very often, Cam Hayward, numbered to 49, I think that says. Yeah, to 49. That one is a sticker auto, not a hard signed on Cam Hayward. Nathan Peterman, poor Nathan Peterman, to 99 for the Buffalo Bills. If Stanglover's on here, he always calls him Pick Six Peterman. So if he's on here, you know he's going to say that in a minute. So that's how we'll find out if he's tuned in or not. Oh, Adam, I know it was all in good fun. I know, man. You're anxious to see the hits. I don't blame you. I could already see it. That's why I was kind of, letting it drag a minute. I knew it was a nice one coming up. Michael Thomas for the Saints. This is a sticker auto and a patch numbered, is it numbered? Yeah, to 49. Oh, this is a really nice case, and it's making me very happy right now. Everything we're hitting is making me very happy. To 99, Leonard Fournette, hard signed, nice patch for the Jags. And we are rolling in this case. Yeah, this is a good one. Jameis Winston to 99 for the Bucks. Of course, the question is really, how much more can we find in here? Because this is already a nice case, and we know we have that booklet still sitting up there waiting. So the question is, how much better is it going to get? Because it's already pretty good. Adrian Peterson to 75 for the Cardinals. To 99 for the Bengals, John Ross dual materials. Oh, I don't think that quad shield would be 5 figures, because good grief, that'd be over $10,000. I don't think it'd be that much, but it is a very, very, very expensive card. I mean, when you sell it, you're going to get some money for it, whoever ends up with it, unless you decide to keep it, of course. To 99, Cooper Kupp for the Rams. No doubt it's a few thousand, but I don't think it gets as high as to 10 or more. To 49, Carson Wentz. So there's an Eagles hit in here for you. How about another multi-card? And this is D.D. Westbrook, Josh Reynolds, Mac Hollins, and Ryan Sweetser. So here we have Jags, Rams, Eagles, and the boys. So we're going to be spending a lot of time on random. Matthew Days to 99 for the Browns. And the Jags with another nice hit to go along with your Leonard Fournette. You have a D.D. Westbrook to 99, hard signed, and a nice size patch there as well. Browns with a second hit, Jabril Peppers to 99. And we do not want to leave out the Bears. So how about the biscuit? Mitch Trubisky /99, hard signed auto and patch. We haven't found Kareem Hunt, though, yet, have we? So we need to still find Kareem Hunt to get things rolling for, well, let's see, I've made kind of a mess of that, to get things rolling for all of our rookies. And we haven't found Kamara yet either, have we? Lamar Miller /99 for the Texans. Willie Snead /75 for the Saints. Yeah, it is nice to have Trubisky pull something since he's not on the Shield card. You are correct about that. Cowboys, Troy Aikman /10. There's a nice one. Gotta love pulling the little Troy Aikman, especially /10. It is a sticker. It's not a hard signed, but even so, if you have the Cowboys, I doubt you're too complaining about that too much. A redemption. We're going to set it aside and come back to it in a minute. Not Juju Smith-Schuster, Josh Dobbs. I got Juju Smith-Schuster on the brain. Josh Dobbs /99 for my Pittsburgh Steelers. That is hard signed and dual material. For the Lions /49, we have a little Matt Stafford relic. Oh, and the Panthers, who were feeling a little left out, are going to get in the action now, too. /25, that's a really nice looking patch, actually. 3-color, good size, Luke Kuechly. Another multiplayer card coming up. Not our booklet, but another otherwise multiplayer card. And here is Trubisky on this one. This is /25, and it's Trubisky, Pat Mahomes, and Deshaun Watson. So there is another really nice triple relic. Adam says, gosh, I'm only here for Gypsy Queen. I wish I had known. I know. This has been an excellent case, hasn't it? I have, in fact, I'd say this has been our best case so far of National Treasures. I mean, we've had some other good stuff, but this one's been the best so far. Our Darius Stewart /99 for the Jets. And here comes the big mamma jamma right here. Treasure Chest /49. And, oh boy, look at that. Broncos. Yeah. You're pretty happy now, aren't you? Who all is on here? Like everybody is on here. Oh, yeah, you guys have got, that is really sweet for the Broncos. That is a super, super cool card. Treasure Chest, numbered /49. That also will tell you all of your team, all your player names on there. And that's pretty sweet. Pretty sweet little hit for the Broncos /49. Okay, so we've got to deal with a redemption, and you know that I'm going to go to the checklist, even though I know where this is going. You're going to know where this is going. Still going to go to the checklist, and we're going to verify it, and we're also going to find out what it's numbered to, but it's Juju Smith-Schuster for my Pittsburgh Steelers, and it is Rookie Jumbo Prime Signatures booklet. So it's going to be pretty sweet when you do get it. But in the meantime, let's rock and roll over here to the Panini checklist. I'm going to bring you with me, and we'll find out what this might be numbered to. Is this in, do they consider this to be Panini, or do they consider this to be playoff? They may consider this to be playoff. Let's see. Yeah, they do. I was afraid of that. All right, let me go back. All right, what did I say the card set was again? Rookie Jumbo Prime Signatures booklet. Why am I seeing 2013? Oh, I remember this now. I did this the last time, too. I was like, why does it have a different year at the top? Yeah, that's my fault. Rookie Jumbo Prime Signatures booklet. And Juju is card number 9. He's going to be number 299. So let's get that labeled. And then we've got a whole big gigantic bunch of stuff to do in random. But before we do that, I'm going to get our little shield card safely tucked away in a one-touch case. So give me a hot second here to get that done. I'm not entirely trying to decide on the thickness of that, which case it should go in. I'm thinking maybe this 120. And if that's not correct, then we've got some other options over there. But I'm going to try this. We're going to try the 120 first, because I think that's the most likely fit for it. Let me just check everything. Is it all in there nice and safe and sound? Yeah, okay. So there it is. Now I feel better about it being happily tucked away. That was for my peace of mind, okay? That just makes me feel better. Before we do that, let's do this one first. So we have the Chiefs, the Bengals, and the Texans. And once again, we'll go to the spreadsheet. If someone owns 2 of the 3, they will take the card outright. If no one owns 2 of the 3, then we will go to random. I always enter things either left to right or top to bottom. That card being oriented left to right means it would go in Chiefs, Bengals, and Texans. Then I would hit random 3 different times. The first 2 times will not count. The third and final random will make the determination. So Mandam 30 has the Chiefs, the Bengals, BD's Closet, and then the Texans, Jaso Moore 23. So we do definitely have 3 different team owners. So we're going to buzz over here to random and start out with this one. If I can get it to cooperate, that is, we are. All right, so Kansas City, Cincy, and Houston. Well, I may as well type in Texans, but anyway. All right, first random doesn't count. Second one doesn't count. Third and final right here. There's our 3 times, our date and time stamp. That card is going to the Kansas City Chiefs. So this is in a sleeve. I'm showing you this because I'm getting ready to mark on the sleeve, and I don't want anybody to freak out and think I'm marking on a card, even though surely you would know I wasn't. Now you know for sure. So the first one awarded to the Kansas City Chiefs by way of random. The second one, on this one, you've got to own 3 of the 4 teams to have 51%. We have Jags, Rams, Eagles, and Cowboys. I've got to get myself on the right page. Okay. Jags right here, J. Foe. Our Rams, J. Fonseca. Who else did I say it is? The Eagles. Eagles is Bobby's Bargains. So we know nobody can own 3 of the 4, but we'll still look up here anyway. Cowboys, True 172069. All right, so same process as before. They're going to be entered from left to right. I will hit random 3 times. The first 2 will not count. The third one will decide for us. So that was Jags, Rams, Eagles, Cowboys. All right, ignore the first one. Ignore the second one. Here comes our third and final. There's 3 times our date and time stamp. That one going to the Cowboys. So this multi-player card here awarded to the Cowboys by way of random.org. Next up, once again, you're going to have to own 2 of the 3 to take this one. You have Mitch Trubisky, Pat Mahomes, and Deshaun Watson. So we're talking Bears, Chiefs, and Texans. All right, so our Bears, BD's Closet. Our Chiefs, Mandam 30. And our Texans is Jaso Moore 23. So yeah, you know what that means. We're going back to our friend Random here. And it'll be Bears, KC, Texans. Okay, first random, ignore it. Second one, ignore it. Third and final, right there in our date and time stamp, it goes to the Bears. So this card here headed to the Mitch Trubisky spot for the Bears. Once again, circling on the sleeve, not the card. Now to the big kahuna. The big one. The big one. This is a beautiful card. A 1/1 NFL Shield for Deshaun Watson, Leonard Fournette, Corey Davis, and Marlon Mack. So this will be Texans, Jags, Titans, Colts, and once again, you would have to own 3 of the 4 to take it outright. And who do we start off with? Houston on that card, right? Jaso Moore. The Jags is J. Foe. The Titans, where are you, Titans? Sports cards for you. And then the Colts, the video game guy. All right, guys, so we are headed back over here. If I can get myself on the right page, that is. We're headed back over here to random one more time before we do our recap. We have this last one to decide here. Who was in the third? Titans? Yeah, Titans and then Colts. All right, good luck, guys. First one doesn't count. Second doesn't count. Third and final. There's our 3 times, our date and time stamp, and it goes to the Titans. Wow. So Tennessee Titans just got the score of the night right there. That is crazy good luck for you, Tennessee Titans. That is probably thousands of dollars worth of luck for you, Titans. And I've got to put this in something so I can mark on it to designate that the Titans have the winning spot so that I don't have to go look all that up later. Okay, so let's recap this break. This little beauty right here awarded to the Titans by way of random. Next up, this was awarded to the Bears, also by way of random. Awarded to the Cowboys by way of random. Awarded to the Chiefs using random.org. Then we have a redemption that will be numbered to 99, Juju Smith-Schuster for the Steelers. This beautiful treasure chest booklet to 49 for the Broncos, which is really one of the cooler cards that they have in National Treasures. I mean, that's just pretty awesome. So if you have the Broncos, that's a sweet little hit for you. And now let's take a look at the rest that came out of this case. Adam says he doesn't know if he would ever recover if he had one of those 4 teams on that Shield card and then ended up not winning it in random. I know, man. I mean, I hate when I have to do random on really nice cards because, you know, somebody's not going to get it. And I've been on the losing side of those many times when I buy into other people's breaks. And, oh, it is not fun. It really isn't. I've kind of thought about it in the past thinking, you know, what's another way to do it? And the only other thing I've ever come up with, and I'm not even sure how well that would work, but I've kind of thought about like, okay, let's say that instead of going to random, we just said, for instance, whatever team had the highest selling price on any given night would take it. You know what I mean? So like, let's say that the card had a team that sold for 10, one that sold for 20, one that sold for 30, and one that sold for 50. The team that sold for 50 would just take it outright if no one owned more than 51%. So I've thought about that, but then I think, well, that does take kind of some of the fun out of it in the sense that sometimes you can have a low buy-in and end up with an awesome card like the Titans did tonight. So it kind of takes some of that out of it. But then on the other hand, If you're one of the people who is paying a lot to get a team, then maybe you end up in a little better shape, a little better return on investment. So I don't know, but that's the only other thing I've ever been able to come up with in terms of how things could possibly work instead of, you know, straight up random. But I think everybody's just so used to having random. That's the way it's always been done. And I think probably people would get probably a little unhappy if we did it differently. So I don't think we'll ever make that change, but I just have over the years I've thought about different ways to do stuff like that, and there's just no good alternative other than random, unfortunately. So that always leaves one person happy and some people sad, but it is at least the luck of the draw. All right, guys, that has wrapped up National Treasures for tonight. If anybody wants a one-touch case for anything, shoot me a message on eBay and let me know. Obviously, that booklet, I don't have a one-touch that would fit that booklet, that team booklet. But anything else, you can send me a message on eBay, and it works out typically to be $3 a case. That includes the cost of the case, the PayPal fees, the extra shipping costs, etc. And I'm always happy to do that for you if you have a card you want to go that way. Obviously, that one-of-one shield, that's just in a one-touch because that's where that needed to be. There is no charge for that one because that card was way too nice to have just floating around in the universe. So for all my football folks who are getting ready to take off, we will be opening more National Treasures on Friday night. So you'll have a chance to jump in there again, and we'll see if we can conjure up another case as nice as the one we had tonight. Meanwhile, we are getting ready to roll into some Gypsy Queen. So for everybody taking off, once again, thank you. I appreciate you. I hope you pulled something good that you liked tonight, and hopefully I'll see you again, either for National Treasures or something else. Baseball folks, thank you for waiting patiently. We are up to your break now. So please take a moment to look at the info on the screen there. It gives you an anticipated shipping date. You don't have to worry about not pulling a card. There's a zillion cards in here. Every team's going to have cards coming out of Gypsy Queen. So consolation cards are not an issue for that one. This is 5 boxes of 2018 Topps Gypsy Queen Baseball. It is a half case break. It is break number 3. And it is the start of a new case. It ended tonight on the 27th of March. We're live streaming it tonight on the 27th of March. Same format as you are accustomed to seeing, with our team names on the left and then our winning bidders across from it on the right-hand side. So I'm going to scroll down through here for a minute, give you guys a chance to get your mojo working. Try to conjure up some good hits for your teams. And if you haven't done a break with me before, when we start a new case, which we are doing tonight, and we're not breaking the whole case, which also applies to Gypsy Queen tonight, I take out all of the boxes and number them on the end, and then use random to decide which boxes we will open tonight versus which ones we will open in the back half of this break. So that's what I'm doing right now. We got to get them all out of here first. Then I'll number them, we'll revisit random, and then we'll be ready to get started. Let me just get the case. Well, actually, I'm going to have to put half those back in that case, so I guess I might as well leave that box sitting there for a minute. Whit, you are asking me, are you asking my eBay user ID? It is, I tell you what, let me just do this real quick, and then that way I don't have to spell it. Hang on just a hot second. Right there, Whit, up here at the top, right there is my seller ID, my seller name on eBay. That way I don't have to try to spell it and explain it and all that. You can just see it up there. Because it's a weird one, I know. I've had it for years. I've just been too lazy to change it. All right, so here's our 10 boxes all out of our case and numbered. So let's figure out which ones we're going to crack into tonight. We'll just take we're only going to do random one time for this. No need to do it 3 times because, you know, there's 10 items. And whatever the first 5 numbers are that come up are the 5 we'll open tonight. So it is 4, 2, 7, 1, and 10. So 1, 2, 4, 7, and 10 for tonight. 2 and 4. And let me just get these others back in the case here. All right, there is 1, 2, 4, 7, and 10 all ready to go. Let me set these aside and we'll get started. Mark says, come on, Red Sox, Braves, Marlins, and Tigers. Nick, I haven't seen you in chat in a long time. Man, where you been? You have the Diamondbacks, the Rockies, and the Pirates in here tonight. All right. We'll see what we can find. So each one of our Gypsy Queen boxes will have 2 on-card autographs. And, of course, we have a nice little chrome box topper in each one as well. And all kinds of inserts and other fun stuff. And, of course, I just sorted a Heritage break today that went out. So I've got Heritage on the brain in terms of the short prints and all that. So you have to bear with me as I get my gear switched back towards Gypsy Queen, because sometimes I get one of them in my head and it takes me a minute to switch gears and start looking for the short prints in the other one, you know. Oh, Mark, you are saying if Stanton is pulled and he's in a Miami jersey, do you get him because he's in Miami, or does it go to the person who has New York? Okay, so here's the deal. Stanton is in here as a Yankee, I am 99% sure. But if we were to pull, sometimes, you know, a player will be in there for a couple of different teams. It might be their base card for their current team, maybe an insert or something else for a former team. It's always going to go to the team that is designated on the card. So if it designates the Yankees, it'll go to the Yankees. If it designates the Marlins, it will go to the Marlins. So hopefully that made sense. Mookie Betts for the Red Sox is our chrome box topper for this case, or this box. I do have sleeves and top loaders that will fit those box toppers, so that's how they'll come to you. And all right, I got to think now about what all we're going to find in here. So there will be some variations that have a blank team name. There will be some variations that will have a woman's face in place of the Gypsy Queen logo. There's a capless variation, although oddly enough, there's also a player or two in here that their base card, they don't wear a hat, and that's not part of the capless variation series, which is kind of weird, but yet, there you go. Then we have base card short prints, and Jackie Robinson Day, which our last case, we only found 1 Jackie Robinson Day in the whole case. And I'm sure there's something else that I'm not thinking of. Oh, the Bazooka Back, which last year in Gypsy Queen, the Bazooka Backs were SSPs, super short prints. This year, they are an entirely different thing. This year, they are an entire set, just a variation set, but not an SSP necessarily. So this is an example of one that has the lady's face down there replacing the Gypsy Queen logo. That one is Daniel Murphy for the Nationals. And we'll find more of that really than anything. Blank team names we'll find a fair amount of as well, I expect. Our first signature already out, and a nice one, Clint Frazier. for the Yankees. Hey, what is that kid's name? Yankees, if you're Yankee team owner, if you're watching, what is the name of the kid that they put on the 25-man roster today? Not Andahar and not Torres, both of which were somewhat expected. Another kid instead, and I can't, for the life of me, think what his name is. If anybody knows, tell me, because that's going to bug me. Carlos Correa. We're going to find a bunch of these little tarot inserts as well. We may find some cards with black borders. Trying to think. Oh wait, black borders might have been Heritage. Trying to think what other insert sets we'll find as we go through here. Our second autograph, both of our autographs up really quick tonight for the Cardinals. And I've never known if this is DeJong or DeHong. I don't know if it's a hard J or if the J is supposed to sound like an H. I don't know. But anyway, there he is for the Cardinals. Numbered to 250. Blue border. Yeah, I should have remembered that. We'll also have black and white variations in here as well. Dustin Pedroia for the Red Sox on that one. John Holder. That doesn't sound like the name I was thinking of. I guess that is it. But that's just, for some reason, Adam, that's not the name I had in my head. But maybe it was John Holder. I guess it was John Holder. I mean, you just said it was. But that, I was surprised. Anyway, I was expecting one of the other, Torres or Andahar, one to make it. So, neither one. Of course, they could still change it up until Thursday, but probably not super likely. Travis Jankowski, Lady's Face is the variant for the Padres. Another tarot, and that is Kenley Jansen. Fortune Teller Minis, I forgot to mention them. It's possible to pull signed versions of these too, although I haven't yet. This one is Manny Machado for the Orioles. I still have quite a bit more Gypsy Queen to open, so I've only got one more break of Heritage to do, which will probably be Monday night, and it's the back half of that case we started a couple of nights ago. But I still have another 2 or 3 cases of Gypsy Queen, so we still have plenty of that left to open. I'm sure by now you know Inception got moved. It would have been coming out either this upcoming week or the following week, but they've pushed it back to May. I don't know what kind of production issues they're having that they shot it all the way back to May, but that's when it's going to be, sometime in May. So this is the one I was talking about. This is Justin Upton's base card. So he's capless, but it's not a short print capless. It's his base card. So make of that what you will. Moncada with the blank team name for the White Sox. A fortune teller. Is that a Med Rosario? Yeah, it is, for the Mets. And there will be, or there should be, hopefully, some Ohtani base cards in here along the way. Pedro Martinez for the Red Sox. That is a base card short print. They go from 300 or 301 up through like 319 or 320. The base card shorts, I mean. And the last case, we found maybe a total of 5 or 6 Ohtani base cards, if you have the Angels. So I would expect that we would find 2 or 3 for you in this half, I would imagine. Noah Syndergaard for the Mets. Of course, you know, it can vary from case to case, so it could always be more or less, but that's kind of what I'm expecting, somewhere in that range. Mike Trout for the Angels. And, of course, maybe we'll get lucky and find you a variation for him, or a signature, even better. Oh, Mark, you said you're collecting from scratch. Oh, so you probably, maybe you're like me. I collected cards years and years ago when I was young. And then when I got into high school, I kind of wasn't interested in it much anymore. And I still kept it until I got to college. And then part of the way through college, I said, you know, I don't really have anywhere to keep these, and it's just taking up so much space, whatever. And so I sold almost my whole collection. I kept a few things back, but not much. And then I was out of it for years and years, and just really got back into it about 3 years ago. So then, you know, like you said, it's kind of almost, you got to start from scratch. And it's so different, because I was out of it for a lot of years, and came back, and of course things are much, much different than they were back when I was collecting when I was a kid. Chris Sale Tarot insert. But I'm kind of glad that it wasn't like this when I was younger, because honestly, there's so many card sets that are so expensive these days. If I had been collecting when I was a kid, you know, you would want all of them. And you wouldn't be able to afford them, or maybe, I mean, I guess depending, some kids probably could afford it. I wouldn't have been able to afford the real high-end stuff. And so I would have been, like, bummed, you know. So I'm kind of glad when I was growing up that it was just down at the grocery store, you bought packs for a quarter or 50 cents or whatever it was. For the Orioles, Jonathan Shoup, 250. That is one of the black and white variations I was talking about earlier. But, of course, back then we also did not have all these autographs and relics and all that stuff. You know, the chase back in the day, so to speak, was the rookie card. Patrick Corbin, and that is the lady's face instead of the Gypsy Queen logo for the Diamondbacks. Yeah, exactly. So Mark says, yeah, it's not like the 50-cent packs from 1987 Topps. You are correct about that. It is a whole different ballgame. There's one of your Ohtani base cards for the Angels. But it's a lot more fun now, of course. You know, again, from an adult perspective, it's a lot more fun. If I was a kid, I don't know how I would feel about it. I'm sure I would just be watching it and wanting everything. Of course, there was no eBay then either when I was a kid, you know, so it wasn't like that. You traded with the people down the street, or your family, your friends, your cousins. It was my cousins specifically, or whatever. You traded locally. You didn't. Maybe you'd right away trade somebody from a magazine ad occasionally or something, but definitely dating myself now. But hey, it's not like you didn't know anyway, right? So I don't know. I don't know how I would feel about it if I were a kid collecting these days. But as an adult, I like all the stuff they have. Nolan Arenado for the Rockies is our box topper here. Well, right, exactly. You went to flea markets and card shows, and, you know, I grew up in a small town, so we really didn't have card shows and stuff there. I mean, I literally bought them at the grocery store or the gas station or something like that, because they all had, you know, racks of them. But my whole family collects, everybody in my family collects various things. So, you know, being young and not with a lot of money, I went for baseball cards, and comic books was kind of my thing. But it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it and then grew out of it. And then like so many things, you know, we age a little and then we go back. Start to circle over again. Oh, you would take the train to Fort Lauderdale when you were a teenager and go to shows. That's pretty cool. I would have probably done that too if that had been an option for me. Because that's the kind of stuff that's the most interesting usually back then. Because you would see all kinds of stuff at a show that you certainly wouldn't see locally anywhere. A Cody Bellinger tarot insert for the Dodgers. And if you guys are wondering, some of you may be wondering, where do the cards go when I move them off to the right? That's the area of the table that I use for sorting, and it is loaded up with mats as well. So they're still nice and safe and sound. I just don't like them piling up in the workspace. Christian Yelich for the Marlins to 250 with the blue border. A fortune teller mini for the Yankees with Aaron Judge. I'm kind of wondering what they're going to do with Ohtani, if they're going to bounce him back down to the minors. I mean, he had really kind of a dreadful spring training. Lady's face, Salvador Perez for the Royals. But, you know, like I keep referencing this article, and I cannot for the life of me remember where it was that I read it. But a former teammate of his said something to the effect of basically like he's always terrible in spring training, but when the season starts, he's great. Francisco Lindor tarot for the Indians. So maybe that'll be the case. I don't know. Trey Mancini for the Orioles. They certainly don't have to worry about sending him down for length of service. You know, they've got him on such a team-friendly deal anyway. I don't think they have to worry about that. Unlike some of our other rookies like Ronald Acuna, who they bounce back down there just so they can stash him down there until about mid-April and bring him up and have him for an extra year on a cheap contract, which I think is terrible. I really don't think they should do that to players, you know, but they're going to do what they're going to do. But, I mean, that guy's ready. Everybody knows that guy's ready. And everybody knows the only reason they did that was to get that extra year of team control. So, as soon as we get past that mid-April date, what is it, like the 13th or the 11th or something? So as soon as we get past that date, you know they're going to call him up like the next day. And he knows it too. That would just make me mad. If I were the player, I would just be like, oh, you guys are terrible. Bradley Zimmer for the Indians. But I was really surprised that Torres... I mean, good grief, we thought Torres would come up last year, and then we thought he'd come up to start the season here, and guy's still down there. Another hit for the Yankees. This one is Jordan Montgomery. Of course, the Yankees with the nice Clint Frazier out of the first box. And we have Bryce Harper tarot insert for the Nats. Mark says he's going to the Braves game next week. Oh, cool. Well, that'll be fun. Yeah, it's too bad your Braves lost, well, all their good prospects pretty much in that debacle where they got caught not quite playing by the rules. Had to give up most of their prospects. Daniel Murphy for the Nats. Of course, I guess the GM was gone too, and I don't remember what other fallout there was. That might have been it. Cespedes for the Mets with the blank team name. Yeah, I need to find some time to get up and see a Reds game, but it's kind of hard sometimes to get motivated when the Reds have been really not good for a bit. It's a little harder to get motivated to go up there. Oh, you're a Red Sox fan first and a Braves fan second? All right, well, that's... But it's still, you know, it's cool that you get it, that they should have busted them for their rules violations. Adam, I hope that you're right. I mean, Nick Senzel for sure, I feel good about. I feel pretty good about Trammell too, but Hunter Green, you know, we got a ways to go before we're going to have Hunter out, but Hunter's got to be able to help. But we've been trying. It just seems like we just can't get the Reds back on the right track. And, you know, Joey Votto's just getting older as we go. Guy's not going to be around forever. This is an example of one of the bazooka backs that I was talking about earlier, Josh Bell for the Pirates. And once again, this year, that is not part of an SSP. It is actually, there's a whole set of bazooka backs that are just a parallel set. So that is one of them. Jimmy Fox for the A's. And Jimmy is a base card short print. And you see, of course, on there it says the Philadelphia A's, but you guys know that the Philadelphia A's are the current Oakland A's. They are not the current Philadelphia Phillies. So the cards always stay with their franchise. And the Philadelphia A's franchise of the past is the current Oakland A's franchise. And our second signature out of this box is a nice one for the Mets with Dominic Smith. It's a nice little hit for the Mets. Both of our New York teams have scored already. Oh, I agree with you that Hunter Green was an awesome deal in the draft for us. I'm not really sure what is going on with this. I think this is the capless variation. I'm pretty sure the code on the bag is 67. I mean, obviously he's not wearing a hat, but I'm pretty sure that that is the capless short print and not anything else. It's not one of his, as I said, one of the base cards. Sometimes the base are capless like Justin Upton, but not that one. Charlie Blackmon should really be a short print because there's the regular Charlie Blackmon. Eric Hosmer for the Royals, and that is the lady's face. Sorry, I was holding that too low down. It's the lady's face that is replacing the Gypsy Queen logo. All right, 2 boxes down, 3 to go. Yeah, the capless show up actually. I think they show up fairly often. I mean, trying to think out of the first case, we had at least one, maybe 2 out of the first case. So they show up here and there. But you said they're 1 in 121 packs. I didn't know the exact odds on it, but I broke my fingernail off earlier this week, or my thumbnail, I should say. It makes it hard to grab the edges of these packs sometimes. Francisco Lindor, Cleveland Indians. I see Adam Engel up there. I missed that a while ago. Adam said that, that Nick Senzel is overhyped. Oh man. Well, I think the thing with Nick is that they're trying to slide him into a different position. They want him maybe to play shortstop or second base or something like that because they just signed, who they just signed? Eugenio? Somebody they just signed anyway to third at a decent contract. And so they're kind of trying to get him adjusted, I think, to shortstop. Maybe even more so than second base. So I think he'll come up soon, but not yet. Yeah, it was Eugenio. I thought that it was Suarez that they signed the big contract with, but I wasn't, and I was like, maybe that wasn't right, but I kind of thought I was speaking correctly there, but I think that will, I mean, that's going to impact Senzel as much as anything else. They've just got to get him set up where they want him to play, and when he gets dug in, so to speak, then I guess they'll bring him up to 250 for the A's, and that is the blue border. Oh, I like Tucker Barnhart a lot. Yeah. Well, I like catchers in general. I don't know why. I have a weird thing about it. I like catchers. I always have. So, yeah, I like Tucker Barnhart. And what's his head? Why am I blanking on his name? Can never stay healthy. Bradley Zimmer for the Indians. Why am I blanking on his name? I know our other catcher's name, who's always injured. And I can't pull it out of my head at the moment. Anyway, you know who I'm talking about. And I'm glad we had Tucker. Trey Mancini for the Orioles. Mesoraco, thank you, yes. Devin Mesoraco just can't stay on the field. And I think Tucker's been excellent. For the Rockies, we have Ryan McMahon. Little rookie on card autograph there for the Rockies. Of course, most of these are rookie on card autographs, but I don't know why I added that. I just did. Aaron Judge tarot insert for the Yankees. Yeah, the Ryan McMahon is a nice hit. I agree with you on that. Chris Sale for the Red Sox tarot insert. You know, I always want our rookies to be parallel, and they hardly ever are in here, but I always wish that they would be. That's my only issue. I wish it had been numbered or had a variant on it of some sort. Buster Posey for the Giants. That is the blank team name. Like this one, for instance. Anthony Banda for the D-backs, and that is a nice little parallel blue border numbered to 150. So D-backs, you got your hit. That is, Nick, that's you tonight, right? Well, I agree with you too, Adam. You don't want so many variations that it becomes like a joke and devalues your product. So I do agree with that. I'm just greedy, right? Like, I want to get the best stuff for you guys. I always want to find the flaming hot hits. Well, Panini, it depends on the product with Panini. Some of their stuff is better than others for that. However, I don't ever think that their short hits or their short prints in Panini, most of the time, I don't really consider to be hits because there are so many of them. You know, what they call a short print is nothing like what Topps calls a short print. And you see it so much that, to me, it's about the same as a base card. So I agree with you in that regard. But I do like some of the things that Panini does. So it just depends. Like I like the parallels that they do in Optic and stuff like that. I think those are great. So it just depends on the product, I guess. Nick, you've gotten 2 hits out of this box already. Look at you go, buddy. I like it. I wondered where you'd been. I hadn't seen you in chat. I saw you in a break the other night, but then I didn't see you in chat. I thought maybe you had forgotten to come and chat with me. Adam, you like NT and Select? I like both of those for sure, and I do like Optic. Aaron Judge for the Yankees. I like Optic across all the products, football, basketball, and baseball. Because, you know, oddly enough, sometimes they can have a set in basketball and have the same product line in baseball or football, but really be completely different in terms of content, which I've always found odd. Matt Boyd, the lady's face, is the variant. But Optic is one that I do like across all the brands. And predictably hard to get this year for basketball. Probably will be hard to get for baseball. They never make as much as I would like of anything. Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I guess it just depends on your personal preference. But for me, I think Optic is an awesome product. I mean, and it's not really about pulling the hits. There's only 1 hit per box in terms of autographs. Marcus Stroman for the Blue Jays, the tarot insert. It's about more of the parallels and things like that. But I like Optic a lot. So, but that's just, again, it's a personal preference. Some people... Somebody was in chat the other day just like, no, I don't like Optic at all. All right, well, I respect that. You know, everybody's got different things that they like. Nick, you said you've been working a lot. I hear you, man. I have been working a lot myself. Blake Snell for the Rays to 250 with the blue border. Just seems like it's that time of year, right? I mean, everybody's just... buried up at work, it seems like. Most people I know anyway. Another bazooka back for our insert series, and this is Marquez for the Rockies. All I know is I'm glad opening day is right around the corner. Washington Nationals, Daniel Murphy, Fortune Teller Mini. Especially because my UK Wildcats just spit it out, man. Did not advance in the tournament after that horrible game against Kansas State. So, although I'm still interested in watching the Final Four and the championship game, suffice it to say it is not nearly as interesting as it would have been if my player had been in it or my team had been in it. So I'm ready for baseball. Let's put it like that. Bo Jackson for the Royals, and that is missing the team name is the variant. There is another Ohtani base card. So Adam, you were out of cards for over 10 years too. What made you decide to jump back in? Nolan Ryan for the Astros. That is one of our base card short prints. I mean, for me, I got all happy because UK is where I went to school, University of Kentucky. And many of you probably know we have a good basketball program. Our our baseball program's been really good the last year and so far this year. But our football program's been terrible for a long time, right? I mean, just like not good. So we had a player that I liked a lot, a defensive player, Bud Dupree, who got drafted in the first round. There is another Mookie Betts for the Red Sox in 2015. And not only did he get drafted in the first round in 2015, he got drafted to my favorite football team, the Steelers. So I decided at that point that I was going to go on a quest to get all of the Bud Dupree rookie cards that I could get my hands on. So, of course, I turned to eBay. And then the next thing you know, boom, sucked back into the vortex. And then there I go with all of it. Then I'm instantly back into baseball, basketball, football. I'm just, oh. And when I was younger, it was only baseball. I didn't even collect football cards. And I don't even think there were probably basketball cards then. Maybe there were, I don't know. But anyway, I hadn't been collecting them. But as soon as I got back on there, started looking for the Bud Dupree cards, oh, it was like the floodgates. And then the next thing you know, wham, here we are 3 years later, and I got a house full of cards. Oh, I hear you. You said growing up and having disposable income. I like that, man. That's true. Excuse me. Was coughing into my shoulder, so usually I try to do my elbow, but I was opening a pack of cards, so I had to go with my shoulder. But I don't do it into my hand, so you don't ever have to worry about that. And it's not sick cough anyway. It's allergy cough, but still. No one wants to think their stuff's been coughed on, so that's why I'm just telling you what's going on with it. Manny Machado, there is another capless variation. This one for the Baltimore Orioles. You know what? I don't know what the price point is on these per box. I buy them by the case. And, of course, I buy them from a wholesale distributor most of the time. For the Twins, Miguel Sano with the blank team name. I don't actually even know what the retail price is on Gypsy Queen. Does anybody else know what it is? Yeah, the breaking thing is the cool part of it. Zach Granite for the Twins with the blank team name. And not just because I'm doing a break right now, you know, because it's just such an awesome way to collect. You don't have to buy whole boxes and whole cases yourself. You don't have to get teams that you don't like. Your money goes so much farther than if you were buying it yourself. Chris Davis for the A's. Because when I very first got started back in it again, first I was buying individual cards of Bud Dupree. And then I thought, you know, I'm going to buy some boxes. I'm just going to buy some boxes of stuff. So I bought a bunch of boxes of stuff. And I didn't hit anybody I wanted. And I was like, oh man, now I've got all these cards I don't want, these players I don't want. I spent all this money. I didn't get anything I wanted. And that's when I decided, you know, I could have taken that same money and bought into how many breaks. And from then on out, I just kind of switched over to breaks for the most part. The Nationals with a hit, and that is Coda Glover. Oh, so somebody said that the Gypsy Queen retail, somebody typed in 150, somebody else typed in 120. So I'm guessing somewhere in between there, maybe probably different places may charge a slightly different price. Noah Syndergaard tarot insert. But I buy most of mine through a distributor. Sometimes I buy them full retail if I don't get as much as I want through a distributor or can't get what I want. But with them, you know, you have to buy it by the case and you have to order it like most of the time 5 or 6 months in advance if it's Topps. This is number 210 for the Oakland A's. And that is a very nice little hit. Don't pull too many numbered to 10 out of here. So cool little hit for the A's there. Oh, Adam, you typed in both the 120 and the 150. I got you. Clint Frazier for the Yankees. Mark said, your brother told you about this today. You're not one to waste time. I love it, man. That's awesome. Just dig right in there. I like it. Well, it's a lot of fun. And as I said, it's a great way to stretch out your budget when you think about what, you know, how many breaks you can buy into for what one box of this would cost. Now, of course, if you're one of the higher priced teams, it's a little different scenario. You know, some of the highest priced teams may have paid the equivalent of what it would cost to buy one box, but you get a shot at 6 boxes for the money, as opposed to just the one box you would buy if you invested it yourself. So I still think it comes out ahead. Yeah, every year I look forward to Heritage and Gypsy Queen and these early cases. I know Series 1 is technically the first cards of 2018, but I break Series 1, but I just don't get I'm not as interested in it as I am in Heritage and Gypsy Queen. Carlos Correa Tarot for the Astros. And one of my friends just doesn't like Gypsy Queen at all. Just doesn't get the appeal, doesn't see why anybody would like it. I love Gypsy Queen. I think they're so cool. Blake Snell for the Tampa Bay Rays. Of course, part of the reason I probably like it and Heritage as much as I do is because they have the kind of old school feel. You know, it's that older card stock like I would have been used to growing up, and just the design, everything about them is more a throwback, and I like that. So Mark, you have 4 teams in here. I think you told me which 4 earlier, and of course you know me, I can't retain it. It's just like, it goes right out of my head. I know, I'm bad about it. J.P. Crawford for the Phillies. I did remember Red Sox mainly because you asked me if my hat was the Red Sox. Felix Hernandez for the Mariners, and that is the lady's face down there instead of the logo. But it's just really the way my hair is cut right now. Anytime I have to kind of look forward or bend down or do anything other than look straight ahead, my stupid hair falls down in my eyes, and I have to be able to see what I'm doing when we do the breaks. So I don't have any choice. I have to get it out of my face. So another Chris Sale Tarot. Okay, we have these little packs left and 1 box. So I think we already pulled our 2 autos out of this box. So we might find another short print in here, but I think our autos are already out. So we have to start working on last box mojo. For that one sitting back there waiting to be ripped into. And sometimes that works. Sometimes Last Box Mojo yields us some very nice hits. So we'll see if it works for us tonight or not. Hopefully. There went Tucker Barnhart. Speaking of, Tyler Glasnow to 50 for the Pirates, black and white. Haven't found too many black and whites so far in this half of the case. Mariano Rivera, and this is a base card short print for the Yankees. I think he might be one of the possible signers in the baseball jersey break we've got coming up in a day or two. I'd have to look at it again, but that company that this particular baseball jersey is from, Hit Parade, they never show you all the possibilities for their jerseys. They just, you know, give you a list of a handful of them and show pictures of a handful of them. So sometimes I can remember who's in it, sometimes not, but I think Rivera was in maybe in that series. All right, last box, Mojo. Box topper here is Giancarlo, and look at that, he's a Marlin. Ha! You got your Giancarlo Marlin. Yay! You're happy about that, right? Because he's mostly in here as a Yankee. I think his base card and stuff is as a Yankee, but there you are on that nice little chrome box topper. He's a Marlin. That's what I say. Sometimes they're in the same series, the same player on more than one team, just depending on what it is. Was last year in, was it in Gypsy Queen or was it in Allen and Genter? It might have been an Allen and Genter, but one of the products last year had Moncada in it as both a Red Sox and a White Sox. Because, you know, he got traded, obviously, part of the way through the year. And the autographs in the hit, he was in there as a Red Sox. But all of his base cards in there, he was in as a White Sox. So it's obviously they had just had him sign all of the other cards first before he got traded, and then they weren't going to just, you know, throw those in the trash. So they just put him in there and still put his base card in as a White Sox. So they do that sort of thing sometimes. Nicky Delmonico, speaking of the White Sox, that one is the lady's face instead of the Gypsy Queen logo. I have a question for you then, Mark, about Giancarlo. Why did he go by Mike when he first started playing? Because, you know, all of his rookie cards say Mike or Michael Stanton, and really even up into a couple years after his cards came out, they all said Mike or Michael. So why did he go by Mike or Michael originally? Carlos Correa for the Astros. I've always kind of wondered that. Like, did somebody just tell him, oh, you shouldn't use Giancarlo because people will think it's hard to pronounce? Or, I mean, why did he do that? To 250, Hunter Renfroe for the Padres, blue border. Kind of always wondered that, never known the answer. And there is Giancarlo again, speaking of, this time as a Yankee in the tarot insert. A fortune teller mini for the Indians, Carlos Carrasco. Aaron Judge, tarot insert. I have to get back onto that Topps game. I played that little game all year last year through their app where you kind of, it's sort of like fantasy baseball, but not exactly. But I'm kind of behind the 8 ball now because I haven't collected any cards in it yet for this year. Bunt is what it's called. And I need to get in there and get some cards. Oh, so it was like that to begin with then. Somebody just told him it was hard to pronounce and they wanted him to appeal more to, well, I'll just say what you have typed, to white fans. And so, yeah. I don't know. That's terrible. They shouldn't have done that to that guy. And then why would they choose Mike or Michael anyway? The guy's name is Giancarlo, so why wouldn't they have at least called him John or called him Carlo? Why would they have said to go with Mike or Michael? I mean, that's just, I don't know. Of course, when you're coming into the game and you're just trying to make a living and get a contract and whatever, you probably do what they tell you to do. And as you say, once you get famous, then you go and do what you want to do. So good for him. Will Myers for the Padres, blank team name. Yeah, I always wondered about that. I assumed it was that, but I never quite knew 100% for sure. What is my computer doing over there? Screen's trying to take a nap on me. Chris Bryant, 250. Nice little black and white parallel for the Cubbies. And to 50, no less. Most of the, you know, many of our parallels in here are numbered higher than that. So we've had a couple good ones tonight, 1 to 10. And then the Chris Bryant 50 is nice. Yeah, I think at one time I had some Stanton rookie cards because I just bought my hobby shop locally. He had a lot of older inventory that he had since it came out. So I bought some stuff from him when I first got back into collecting just to open myself. And I'm pretty sure that I pulled some Stanton rookie cards. In fact, I'm pretty sure I pulled a bunch of them. Not a bunch, but a handful. But because I didn't really pay attention to the Michael stuff, I was like, oh, well, yeah, I mean, I didn't even think anything of it. And I think I probably just donated them, gave them away, whatever. Like, oh, well. That's how it goes. Easy come, easy go, as they say. Ichiro as a Marlin. Tarot insert. Of course, he's now back with the Mariners, gone back home for the end of his career. Zach Greinke to 250, blue border. AZ. Yeah, he was as a Marlin there. That's what I'm saying. You never know what you're going to find in these sets. So he was a Marlin on that one. A fortune teller mini for the Dodgers, Corey Seager. I went through a little stretch where I pulled a bunch of Ichiro signatures out of 2016 Finest, and what else? Oh, this is a nice hit. Oh, this is a very nice hit for the Mets. Dominic Smith 250. It's the mini. It's the black and white parallel. It is nice. And you know, out of the last case, we pulled Rosario in the mini that may have also been black and white. So the Mets have had good luck the last couple of cases in regard to their rookies. Cal Ripken Jr., that is a base card short print. Yeah, that is the second Dominic Smith. And interestingly enough, when we pulled the Ahmed Rosario mini like that, it was also the second Rosario in that case. So it's kind of crazy. And they both came out in the same break. Same as they did here with Smith. They both came out in the same break, the best I recall, for the Rosario out of the first one. Benton says for the Yankees fortune teller mini. So that's interesting. I'll be curious to see if that happens again out of the third case. And if it does, then we'll all know we should be buying the Mets. You never know. I think it takes a few cases to establish a pattern anyway. For the Rangers, we have Matt Bush. And that was our last signature out of there. So let's recap this. We're going to take a quick little fly through our parallels and things here. So that is a base card short print. Of course, you know the blue border and the black and white. That's blank team name. That's the lady's face. That is the base card short print, black and white, lady's face. This nice little hit for the A's to 10. We like that. Blank team name, capless variation, base card short, blank team name. What was that one? Why do I have that one in there? I got to think about this. Oh, bazooka back. All I had to do was flip it over, then I would know, wouldn't I? The blue border, that is the lady's face. The blank team name, blue border, lady's face, capless variation. That is base card short print, Josh Bell, bazooka back. That was blank team name, the lady's face, blue border, lady's face, black and white, blue border, base card short, blank team name, lady's face, and lady's face. Now we'll take a stroll through our hits. For the Rangers, Matt Bush. For the Mets, nice little Dominic Smith. It's the mini, the black and white parallel, numbered 250. Very solid hit for the Mets. Tampa Bay Rays, Blake Snell. Washington Nationals is Coda Glover. The Arizona Diamondbacks with Anthony Banda to 150. Nice little Ryan McMahon for the Colorado Rockies. Another Dominic Smith for the New York Mets. The Yankees hit with Jordan Montgomery. St. Louis Cardinals with Paul, is it, again, I don't know, is it DeHong? I don't know. Whichever it is, there he is. And then a nice little Clint Frazier for the Yankees. That is it for tonight. We don't have anything else to open. I do have a lot of stuff to sort and get in top loaders and get ready to go, but nothing else left to open. So just in case someone is watching this on the recorded version, I do usually throw the spreadsheet stuff up again real quickly so that, you know, if you are ever watching on the recorded version, by the way, you know you can scroll to the end of your break, and I always do a hits recap. So if you're ever watching the tape delay and you don't want to sit through the whole thing, you can always fast forward and end up along about here. And then there's the shipping info as well. And that is all for me tonight, guys. Oh, you are asking me, Mark, what are the big cards called? Oh, the box toppers. Those are called, well, they're called box toppers. But specifically, these, I think, are called Glassworks Chrome or something. Let's just see what it says. But they're box toppers. But this GQ for Gypsy Queen. Gypsy Queen Glassworks Chrome box toppers, to be specific, is what those are. And again, I usually put them in a sleeve and a 5x7 top loader. Sometimes you get weird sizes of things that won't fit in that, but the Gypsy Queen stuff always fits in there. So, all right, that is it for me tonight. Thank you again to everyone. I hope that I will see you again on another break. And until then, enjoy the rest of your week and look for this stuff to head your way in a few days. Take care. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.